boys. It's week 2. Welcome, everybody, to the College Football Tailgate. It is me, XFL Jim, joined by the one and only. It is Coach Grime, Chase, Lupine Fiasco, Sesums, and, of course, Uncle Rico, the incomparable, the immeasurable. Erik, what's up, boys?
Start off the week good. Kansas win. My boys, the Lions, are able to BS their way to a victory on Thursday night. I'm feeling confident going into the weekend.
I'm so pumped for this slate of games. Like, there's so much to like about this, and there are places where if you feel bold and want some alternate lines, you can really juice the value out of some of these games.
I'm salivating here, boys. Let's get through it game by game. We'll obviously only break down the ones that we have action on. Game number 1, Vanderbilt, Wake Forest. Wake's a 10.5 point favorite at home, over under 56.5, plus 330 on the money line for Vandy.
Early start in that one, too, guys. Early start.
Yep.
Early start.
Yep, early start. 10 a.m. God's time, so that one actually starts at 11 Eastern.
Yep.
Anybody got anything in this one? Besides me! I'm on the over. I'm on the over 56.5. Starting us off strong.
There we go.
Notre Dame, NC State. Notre Dame, a 7-point road favorite, over under 49.5, plus 235 on the money line for the home dog, NC State.
I have something.
I think we got a 3-way here. We'll start with Uncle Rico.
I took NC State here. I got it at 8, and then I took them at the money line. I'm just kind of looking here. Hartman had struggled against Gibson's defense when he was at Wake Forest. Against the rest of the ACC, 59% pass completion percentage with 3 TDs to 1 INT ratio. When he played NC State, that completion percentage drops down to 54%, and it's a 1-to-1 ratio, 1 INT to 1 TD. Also, I'm going to say it, I don't like this Notre Dame receiving corps. I don't think they're as good as what he had in years past at Wake Forest. You look at Freeman's defense, even though he's the OC, the coach, he runs the defense for Notre Dame, they have struggled with mobile quarterbacks. We saw how much Armstrong ran that first week. I don't think he's going to run 19 times, but historically, Freeman's defense do give up a lot of yards and have struggled against mobile quarterbacks. This is a huge step up in competition from Notre Dame. You look who they played. They boat raced Navy, who was basically worthless. Their coaching actually got worse. And then they played Sisters of the Poor last week and killed them. So I think it's a good matchup. And then you play the trend and stay as a home dog since 2001, 51% ATS. You look at the offensive coordinator whose name I'm not going to pronounce. You look at what he's able to do against a Freeman-style defense. I'm just going to play the number in the matchups here. I'm going to take NC State. I got it at +8, and I took them on the money line.
Chase, what do you have to say about this one?
This is one of the places where I feel bold and took an alternate line. And honestly, I would feel comfortable taking this all the way up to 13.5. Give me Notre Dame and the points at -9.5. I got it at +110. Here's my key factor in this is that I think NC State is going to have a tremendous time stopping this running game. If you look at how they handled UConn, the amount of yards per carry that UConn was able to rip off in that opener, I think that you got an incredibly balanced Notre Dame team that will be able to run the ball when they need to. I know they haven't necessarily played anyone yet, but I don't feel good about this NC State team, their level of physicality. I think they get the ball mashed down their throats by the Irish today. So I got it at +110, -9.5, and then I'm using them at -7.5 in my early slate round robin.
I'm agreeing with Chase on this one here. This is more of a dislike what NC State has shown. I get it's only been 1 week versus a like what Notre Dame has shown. I just believe Notre Dame will be able to run on this team, and that's why I'm going to take the -7. Erik, you know I love taking road favorites. I can't help it. I can't stop. I love it too much.
Can't stop. Won't stop.
Ball State, Georgia -41.5, over under 43. I got nothing.
Nothing.
Did you have something, Chase, or was that nothing?
That was a get it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, that one black guy I do love too hard. I do.
He loves firm. It's a firm love.
JMU Virginia. JMU minus 6.5 on the road, over under 40.5, plus 205 on the Hoos.
There's too much emotionally going on in Charlottesville for me to touch this game.
I will not touch it. Purdue Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech minus 2 at home, over under 49.5, plus 107 on the money line for the Boilermakers. I got something in this, Chase. I know you do. Eric, you touching this one? I
do not.
Okay, Chase, what do you got?
It's like LL Cool J once said, Purdueing it well. I think that this is a great spot for Purdue to get back on track, whatever track that might be, with a straight-up win on the road at Virginia Tech. I took them on the money line here. There's some interesting things going on with Hudson Card. If you were to break out like his yardage passing last game and take out the one huge play where his receiver hulked out, he really didn't have that great of a showing, but it seemed like the offense was still really able to keep on track. I feel like there's a little bit of an underreaction here to the fact that Virginia Tech didn't really put away Old Dominion for a while, really kind of played with their food. Purdue caught an extremely salty and extremely veteran and extremely well-coached Fresno State team last out. I don't think that's a reason to look down on their loss. I think it's a reason to give them a little bit of hope. It's like class and horse racing. Who have you run against? And I feel like Purdue's run against way better and showed that they can run against way better.
Couldn't have said it better myself. I love Purdue in this matchup. I just took a little flyer on the money line. That's it. I got it at plus 113.
Me doing my research is like Happy learned how to putt.
It's very good. It's dangerous. It's dangerous right now. I remember, what was it, like halfway through last year? I was like, oh shit, Chase is getting dangerous.
By the way, this is the money line. Purdue is one of my 3 big money line dog plays in my round robin and just the early slates today.
Up next, Nebraska, Colorado. Colorado down to minus 2.5, over under 57.5, plus 120 on the money line for Nebraska. It looks like it might even go to 2 before the game fully gets off. Anybody got plays in this one?
I'm like Switzerland, baby. I'm neutral. And also, I've got too much gym gold invested in my banks to really pick a side.
I did not play this one either.
If that got to 3, I thought it was going to go the other way.
It did get I saw it at 3.5 on Wednesday.
Oh, I thought it was just going to keep climbing, so I just kind of waited.
So
I was going to get in on it, but it's below 3, so I'm just going to wait. If it does trickle up to 3 or 3.5, I'll take Nebraska. I mean, with these college shows, we all kind of make predictions about what we think these teams are going to be. How is it possible that we were basically everyone in America was wrong and thought Colorado was going to lose, and now they have them as a 22nd best team in the country? It's just kind of overreaction. It's a number type play, but I ended up passing.
I also have a rule betting Nebraska. I don't bet Nebraska anything under a touchdown just because I have emotional baggage.
I will say if they go into the half with Nebraska leading, I will be unloading. I have a cousin with a wheelbarrow full of money just outside of the sports book at Oaklawn, ready to come in and make a drop.
Hammer Colorado if Nebraska's up at half. Utah, Baylor.
You got to give Prime credit though.
Oh, he's killing it. He's doing great.
Yeah, man. Also, that gold whistle on the end of his chain is dope as a chain enthusiast.
Utah, Baylor. Utah minus 7 on the road, over under 45, plus 255 on the money line for the Bears.
No Cam Rising, right?
Yeah, still
no. He wants to play. It's still a game time decision.
It's not like. Well, they also had to dual quarterback it. They had the advantage of Florida coming across the Rockies for it. But still, doesn't this feel? We thought it was overreaction week 2. It feels like underreaction. I feel like Baylor plus 7.5 is an underreaction to they got handled by Texas State.
And their quarterback's out too.
Yeah.
I took Utah minus 7 for that reason, Chase. Give me Utah. I don't give a fuck. Troy, K-State. K-State minus 15, over under 49, plus 540 on the money line for Troy. I might get to Troy plus 15. This is just kind of like a K-State historical. They always kind of have a weird letdown spot against these Sun Belt teams. I might get to Troy plus 15. We'll circle back to that one. Western Michigan, Syracuse. Syracuse minus 24.5, over under 56.5, plus 1,100 for Western Michigan. Anybody, anything? Because I fucking don't.
No, the heart always says directional mission the points, but no.
Yeah, the heart is rooting for Western Michigan, but the brain says to stay away. Miami of Ohio, UMass. Miami of Ohio right now is minus 7 on the road, over under 43.5, plus 230 on the money line for the Massachusetts Masses. That's what I'm going to call them. Anybody?
Nothing.
I got one thing in this game.
Taking UMass in the points.
Yeah, I'm taking UMass in the points, and I also sprinkled a little bit on that money line.
What do you got point wise, and what odds are you getting? Because I'm seeing it plus 6.5 and even money right here, which makes it kind of, I could see being worth the dabble, but I'm not going to.
All right, UMass plus 7 at minus 109.
Okay.
And then on the money line, I got 125. Sorry, no, I got 220. I was looking at a different one. I got 220 for UMass. Up next, UNLV at Michigan. Michigan minus 38, over under 57. I'm going to fully admit I fucked up. I took it early. I thought this line was going to, go down. If anything, I don't know why I thought that. I'm very stupid. I took it at 36.5. I'm just going to fully admit my mistake there. So, sorry, folks. Can't win them all.
Yeah. I want no part of the free Harbaugh cheesiness here. Want no part of it.
It's so stupid.
This is the dumbest thing I've ever
seen.
It's so
dumb. This might be one of the cheesiest, goofiest things I've ever seen in college football.
He's not locked under the stadium. He's not Princess Peach or anything, damn it.
Texas A&M, Miami, Florida. Texas A&M's a minus 3 favorite on the road, over under 50.5, plus 135 on the money line for Miami. I got nothing in this one.
I'm firing straight up. This is the third of my early dogs that I like outright on the money line, and I've got in my round robin. Give me Miami straight up against Texas A&M. I think they beat up on a tomato can last week, and they're making way too much out of the revamped Texas A&M offense. Miami by default of being in what they called the state of Miami in the U documentaries, is way more talented than who Texas A&M was playing last week, especially on defense. And I don't know. We've seen what happens to Texas A&M when they face adversity early in the season. Just because you got a guy who got to reach around handy on a motorcycle like Evel Knievel does not mean that they are now dangerous. So you give me Texas A&M, choke job, Miami money line.
If I went any direction in this game, it would be Miami straight up. I just don't trust Texas A&M at all. Okay, up next, Iowa State. It's El Asico, boys. Iowa minus 3.5 on the road, over under 36, plus 155 on the money line for Iowa State. What do we think, boys? Anybody got anything? I'm actually adding a play late.
All right, let's hear it.
Okay, it's not a great bet, but it's a bet. Margin of victory bet, Iowa by 1 to 6 points.
It's always a close game.
Plus 275.
Always a close game in the old Cyhawk, right?
Always.
As my alter ego, the unders taker, likes to say, life, death, Iowa unders. I was talking to Jim before the show. I think the only number I'd be uncomfortable taking an Iowa under would be 1.5. So 36.5 is plenty. I've got Iowa in the under, and that is definitely also locked into my round robin.
You staying away here, Uncle Rico?
Iowa, their coach, what's his name? Kurt, whatever. He is only 7-10 against Iowa State.
Yeah.
ATS. Them winning with margin, winning with a number over 3. What's his face is the quarterback for Michigan. Is he even going to be playing? Do we know? Because he sat out last game. So I would definitely kind of lean toward Iowa State just because I don't trust Iowa's offense at all. I know there's all these incentives with the
to score points
with the scoring and everything, but it's just do you trust them to do it? I don't. Like, I just doesn't. It doesn't make sense to me. So I'm gonna pass.
Also, if he doesn't rake the lawn, he can't go to the movies this weekend. Their offensive coordinator that's in his contract too.
So just like every other college thing, it's going to be like a game time decision for Cade McNamara. Texas State, UTSA. UTSA minus 14 over under 66.5 plus 395 on the money line for Texas State.
Yeah, because it's weird. It's underreaction week 2 is what I've dubbed it, and I feel like 15.5 is an underreaction to Texas State going and beating a much tougher Baylor. Also, UTSA losing a close-ish game to Houston. I mean, that's against a Power 5 conference technical. Both Big 12 teams. I don't know. Like this line feels fishy and dumb, and sometimes you lean into the weird. I don't want anything of this weird sea beast.
Yeah, I'm not leaning into the weird on this one either. If I did, I'd probably take UTSA.
Well, of course.
Yeah, but like based on the letdown too from Texas State.
Yeah.
Ole Miss, Tulane. Ole Miss minus 8 on the road, over under 65 plus 270 on the money line for Tulane. You know what? I didn't have anything before. I think I got it. I want to play Tulane so bad here. Chase, go ahead.
I have no inside information about Pratt at Tulane. He's supposed to be a game time decision. My gut tells me he's fucking playing in this one. Look out, Ole Miss. Give me this fighting Squidbillies on the money line here, plus 230. That wraps up my early round robin. I also got straight up. Yeah, I'm all about Tulane in this spot. I feel like they were a little bit disrespected last week, and then they went out and handled business. Even though USA didn't look like they were up to par. I don't know, man. Voodoo Magic on the Bayou. I love Tulane in the spot.
Nothing from you on this one, Eric?
I mean, I kind of want to take Tulane. I mean, obviously they're home. Fritz at home, 9-3-1 ATS, 75%, 61% ATS just overall. But we don't know what's going on with the quarterback position. We don't know what's going on, and you need a quarterback in this college football game. So
debatable. Debatable.
Ask
Frank Gore Jr.
Ask Brian Ferentz.
I don't.
True.
And Ole Miss, I think the one thing that when I rewatched a couple things and looked at my notes, I don't think Georgia, even though they won big, I don't think Alabama, even though they won big, I don't think I don't think the separation between those two and Ole Miss, now granted it was one game against subpar competition, but just going at what my eyes are seeing, I don't think the separation is that big. I think Ole Miss could maybe be a dark horse.
Eric, I'm way ahead of you because I already have a future on them.
Oh, okay. Well, good for you, buddy.
I'm on it.
Look at you.
I forget what I got it at. What do I have it? 19-1. Probably not as good as it could be, but whatever. That was just for the West. UTEP Northwestern, the game of the day, everybody. UTEP Northwestern. Northwestern has gone back to a -1. They're favored at home, over under 40 points. Minus 106 on the money line for UTEP. Would I be crazy to bet the under here?
No.
No.
Yeah. I'm gonna add that to my slate.
I found out some insider information, and from what I found out, kind of explained to me about what was going on Northwestern offensively. Because of that information, I would definitely co-sign on your underplay, even though I didn't bet it.
Would you? Did you talk to friend of the show, Skip Holtz?
No, but yeah, it's inside information. I'm not privy to share, but I'll share with you guys off air.
I saw this line was at, I think it was like at a pick'em earlier, or it was like minus.
It was UTEP minus like 1 to start, and now it's flipped.
Yeah, and it was on the money line minus 110 both ways. Now actually, I'm seeing that I can get minus 105 for UTEP. Yep. Straight up. So that makes the UTEP play way more appealing. And also, I have eyes, and I saw them play Rutgers. Like, Northwestern is definitely on the auto fade list.
We have someone in the chat that has a play to ask of us, and it won't be on the slate because it's an FCS game. Holy Cross plus 9.5 versus Boston College. What do y'all think? I think Boston College coach gets fired after this game.
What are you getting? I guess would be my question here, because I think if you're getting fair odds and it's not juiced up like crazy, hell yeah, take your shot there. Boston College looks terrible.
They look
straight up. Charles Barkley, terrible.
I don't hate. I like the play. I think Holy Cross is a pretty good FCS. I'd take it.
Yeah, I'd take it as well.
Where were we? Marshall, ECU. Marshall's a 3-point road favorite, -3 on the road, over under 43 points, plus 125 on the money line for ECU. I got something in this game. What about the rest of you boys?
They are Marshall. I am passing.
I got nothing.
No, I'm taking ECU straight up in the points. I just maybe an overreaction to Marshall's week 1.
I feel like you deserve my Be Brave, Be Bold mug this morning.
Maybe an overreaction to how bad I felt Marshall looked week 1, but give me ECU. Give me the Pirates. Kent State, Arkansas, baby. Arkansas -38, over under 57.
Actually, I mean, of course, think Arkansas covers, but I also think there's really a lot of reason to be wary here. Rocket Sanders is out. They're going to be resting him until the big games start. You've even got Rashad DeBinion a little bit dinged up. They threw the ball really well. They're going to face a little bit tougher than what they faced last week in Western Carolina. They could just come out and whomp them with the good old whomping stick, but I actually want to stay away from this one.
I also want to stay away.
Is Rocket is a clear-cut number 1. You have these guys in the age of NIL. You want to put as much stuff on tape as you can. So you're going to get these guys from Arkansas that haven't played at all, and they're going to be going full blown when they get the ball on these handoffs. So that's why I want to stay away. With the way Kent State's going to play, slow it down a little bit, limit the possessions and new clock rules. Laying these big numbers is kind of hard. But when you get these kids that want to put stuff on film and impress, which I could see happening, I'm going to stay away if that makes sense.
Tulsa, Washington. Washington's -33 at home, over under of 66. Blech.
Washington, that look ahead spot, man. They got Michigan State on deck, dude.
Oh, baby.
Clock struck midnight. Midnight Mel coming. I didn't touch it, but I also think that Tulsa or Washington covers pretty easily. But
I think so too.
I mean, when I don't necessarily have an opinion, 32.5 is way too big of a spread to touch.
God. You know what? Fuck it. I gotta take one big spread. Haven't taken another. Give me Washington -33. Give me Michael Penix. Doing it. App State, North Carolina. North Carolina -19.5, over under of 58, plus 750 on the money line for App State.
Wow, I can see it at 17.5 here still, and I liked it at App State plus 17.5. Quite honestly,
I got nothing.
I've been going back and forth all week about taking App State, but this is more based to do with last year, and I don't think this is the same App State team of last year that's going to play in a bunch of like classic games and just disappoint at the end.
Yeah, if you're seeing 19, I'm in a holding pattern and definitely don't take it now at 17.5.
Yeah. SMU, Oklahoma. Oklahoma -16.5, over under 69 points, plus 550 on the money line for SMU.
I know nothing about Oklahoma after last week.
Yeah,
Nothing.
I know their offense can score points. I want to take SMU. I'm gonna stay away. But if you're picking anything in this one, I'd go SMU just because I don't know what Oklahoma has shown us that they can like dominate any semi-decent team.
Right.
New Mexico State, Liberty's -9.5, over under 53, plus 300 on the money line for New Mexico State.
First of all, can I just say, what do they have? The Joker mask turnover?
Is that what they have?
Like, there's everything all over social media. Like, is some guy dressed up with a Joker mask for Liberty? Like, is it just one guy, or do I put the mask on my sweaty face after I make a turnover? Then do I pass it to Chase, and he puts my sweat on top of his sweat, and he dances around?
Yeah.
I don't get that. Like the turnover.
They throw Arm and Hammer in there when they switch it out.
The Joker mask. No.
I've grew up going for having Halloween in Arkansas on humid days and wearing like those gross smelling like latex Halloween masks. And I want just having my face in it is disgusting. I don't want the next dude's face juice in it.
That's nasty.
Like, I don't get it. Like, is there different masks? Is it one?
They
mask
have for every defensive cornerback, they have their own mask. I bet
just an oil drum of masks sitting at their disposal.
They buy them in bulk.
Yeah, I have nothing in this game, but
I'm not touching this one.
Yeah, that's friggin' weird. And now that I hear about that, I have even less of a desire to play the game. Thank you for that tidbit, Uncle Rico.
Ohio Bobcats, Florida Atlantic, FAU's -3.5, over under 62, plus 155 on the money line for the Bobcats.
I got nothing.
What did we learn about Ohio last week against, was it San Diego State? Nothing. You have a team from the East crossing the Rockies going to the West Coast. FAU.
It looks like Curtis Rourke is still out. So keep that in mind, folks. I maybe play Florida Atlantic at that point, but I'm not going to touch it.
Maybe.
I'm going to say this. Okay, if this gets down to 3, I was going to take Florida Atlantic. Even if it gets plays, I would take Florida Atlantic. Nothing about Ohio has screamed impressive to me. Harris looked like
that's
shit.
True. The entire state.
The fact that the running back, whose name I'm spacing on, was averaging over 4.5 yards a carry with your backup quarterback in, and he got 3 carries the whole second half, just showed me how inept the whole Ohio coaching staff is.
I was going to say, this was one of the specific games I remember you mentioning last week about how pissed you were with the coaching.
I mean, it was just, I was amazed by just how inept the Ohio coaching staff was. I think, but then you have Herman as a favorite. Herman is god awful as a favorite, great as a dog. If this gets down to 3 or live betting, I can get Florida Atlantic. Anything less than 3, I'll dabble. But pre-flop over 3, this is a pass.
Yeah, I'm staying away as well. UAB, Georgia Southern -7, over under 63.5, plus 210 on the money line for the Fighting Trent Dilfers.
Can I just say I hate Trent Dilfer?
Yeah, I think you could say that. I think you could say that pretty easily.
Yeah.
As a fellow Dilf, I have, a soft spot, but
I'm staying away. Maybe lead towards Georgia Southern, maybe, but don't love it. Don't love it either way. UL Lafayette, Louisiana, ODU. Louisiana -5.5 on the road, over under 51.5, plus 190 on the money line for Old Dominion.
Like the fight that Old Dominion showed against Virginia Tech, but guess what? They show fight against Virginia Tech every year.
Yeah, it's true. Cincinnati, Pitt -6.5 at home, over under 45, plus 215 on the money line for the Bearcats of Cincinnati.
To think there was a time when people might have cared about this game, I pass.
Yeah, pass.
I got nothing.
North Texas, FIU. North Texas -12 on the road, over under 51.5, plus 375 on the money line for the Airport. Yeah, blah. Stay away.
Nothing.
Sports facts, Eric. Jesus, Uncle Rico betting anything?
God, just a lack of restraint from Uncle
Wow.
Rico.
Jeez, dude. I got a game coming up soon. I got a game.
Middle Tennessee State, Missouri. Missouri -21, over under 47.5, plus 825 on the money line for MTSU. Keep me away from this game.
Yep.
For the love of God. Houston Rice. Houston -8 on the road, over under 52.5, plus 265 on the money line.
So Rice did a really good job in the first half of kind of disguising their coverages and confusing Quinn Ewers. I mean, I could see that maybe happening, but I think they also probably showed their hand as to what all the defensive tricks that they have in the bag playing against Texas in week 1.
I don't care. I don't believe in this Houston team.
Houston got done a lot of favors by UTSA too, who couldn't really throw the ball except for a couple late drives. Hey, I don't want to touch it. I don't want to.
Rice +8, baby. Rice +8.
I got to bet in this game.
What is it, Eric?
I am taking the Fighting JT Daniels. I got Rice a little earlier. I think I got him at 9.5. Anything over a touchdown, I still like. I also got him at plus 300 on the money line. Look, they look good against Texas. We need to remember Houston lost their starting quarterback, and Donovan Smith didn't look that great. They lost Tank Dell, their best playmaker, elite in the return game. And Chase kind of hit the nail on the head. That game wasn't Houston won the game. That was more UTSA lost the game. Beforehand, we talked about the UTSA quarterback and him turning over the ball. I don't think JT Daniels is going to have that many turnovers. I think he's going to protect the ball a little bit more. And I'm a big situational spot type guy. Who does Houston have next week? They have TCU in their Big 12 debut. Yeah. You're playing Rice, who basically looks like them as the little brother to Houston. They're going to be pumped up for this. Daniels is going to protect the ball. Rice is much improved. This is kind of like Rice's like Super Bowl, so to speak, because this is a game they could actually win. I like JT Daniels. He's been in the big game before. I'll take Rice here. I got him at 9.5 and plus 300. Anything over a touchdown, I like.
Do you guys hear that? By God, that's the Undertaker's music. I think, quite honestly, this might be a pretty good little sneaky underplay at the 52.5. Here's the reason. Uncle Rico's hit on this a couple times. You have a rule change in college football. They don't stop the clock to move the chains. That really kind of takes a little bit of the steam out of these hurry-up offenses like Houston runs. Also, you have to consider that they're not as much of a throwing team. It seems like they're a little bit more reliant on the run, which means the clock's going to run even more. And then you have Rice, who might just have a sneaky good defense if they can sustain what they showed in the first half against Texas last week.
You know what, Chase? I'm on the under 2.
Let's tombstone the fun out of this fucking game.
Jeez,
Oregon, Texas. Oh.
Got a little pumped up, dude. Got a little pumped up here for night.
I hear the church bell on the Undertaker.
Am I going to have to get another caffeine going?
Oregon, Texas Tech. Oregon -6 on the road, over under 68.5 plus 195 on the money line. Anything from anybody in this one? Erik, 2 in a row.
I know, dude. I'm coming out hot. Bo Nix on the road struggles.
You could have just said Bo Nix struggles.
But obviously Bo Nix struggles on the road. We talked about it last week, and it kind of showed in the second half. The altitude in Wyoming is a real thing. Those Texas Tech guys looked tired as the game progressed. Also, it was a flat spot. You have Oregon here coming in. Where did Texas Tech starting quarterback get run out of?
Yeah,
Oregon.
Oregon.
Where did both coordinators come from that were told to hit the road? Oregon. You're telling me like these kids, this coaching staff hasn't had this game circled. We've talked about kind of holding stuff back. I think Texas Tech also kind of went in with the idea that we're just going to steamroll Wyoming and we're going to keep stuff extremely vanilla before we play Oregon and then kind of exploit it. Oregon lost a ton on defense. I think Tech's going to be able to take advantage of it. And also, since 2001, Texas Tech is a respectable 58% ATS.
Woo!
As a home doggy. Give me Tech. I locked it in. I think I got the 6.5, and I also took the money line. I think they went straight up. I think Oregon's lost a lot on defense, and I think people are kind of overlooking that. Who did they beat? Portland State last week?
Yeah.
I mean, that does not, like, for me, that does absolutely nothing. I think Tech's live here.
This felt like I really thought that I was going to get a way bigger number with Texas Tech. I agree with everything Uncle Rico says. I do think that they're definitely live. But at -115, do you think I want to touch 6.5 there against a team that's shown a lot of power, but Texas Tech with a ton of upside? Nope.
Is this one of your underreactions?
Yeah, this is part of underreaction week 2. Electric Boogaloo.
Jacksonville State, Coastal Carolina. Coastal is a -13.5 point favorite at home. Over under of 61 points, plus 430 on the money line for Jayville State. Chase, take it away.
You give me Jayville State on the money line. I'm riding the rich rod all the way here. I love this Jayville State team. Coastal, played a tough game against UCLA last week. Had to fly cross country for it. Dude, the Jacksonville State Gamecocks, look, it's a crime that they can't play for the conference championship because I think they've got a great chance of winning it this year.
You touching it, Erik?
Oh, God, no.
Oh, I'm on the same reason as Chase. This is also, I just hate Tim Beck with a fiery passion, so give me Jayville State all day for the win. UConn, Georgia State. Georgia State -3 at home, over under 54.5, plus 130 on the money line for the UConn Huskies. Anybody else on UConn with me? Yeah, Erik, go.
All right.
Take it.
You want me to go? I got to find my notes on this bad boy.
Oh, well, come on. This is UConn we're talking about. Give me UConn.
Right.
I only took them on the money line. That's all I did.
The fact that I cannot keep straight in my head who Georgia State is and who Georgia Southern is means it's probably a good idea that I do not touch this game.
I took UConn here plus the 3.5. Look, we were high on Georgia State last year. This is another team that is just insanely poorly coached. UConn,
he's gone. He's going to be gone this year.
UConn did struggle defending Armstrong running the ball. Do you think this guy's going to have Granger running the ball? I don't think he's smart enough to figure that out and have Granger running the ball. O-line for UConn, I think they're going to be able to protect this new quarterback, who, you know what, I kind of like. I think the NC State defense is good. I think he looked pretty good. I think Rosa, the running back, is going to be able to run the ball successfully against this Georgia State defense, who looked absolutely putrid against Rhode Island last week, who put up 35 with their quarterback throwing for 408. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I'm getting the better coach, the better roster, the better playmakers, and the points. Give me UConn here plus the 3.5. Anything over 3, I like.
Cosign on that. Memphis, Arkansas State. Memphis -20.5, over under 58, plus 870 on the money line for Arkansas State. Over under 1.5 shots of Butch Jones crying.
I mean, should I tweet old Dave Mason right now so he even gets the line of Butch Jones crying?
That'd be awesome.
I want a line on a fighter jet landing on Butch Jones's flat top in the middle of the game.
If Memphis does anything close to what Oklahoma did, he'll be crying again.
Yep.
He's
Not
probably
touching it, though.
saying I should have never left CMU. That's probably what he's saying to himself. Should have never left CMU.
I feel like a lot of people say that. UCF. Boise State. UCF -3.5 on the road, over under 58.5. I wanted to take Boise. I didn't touch this one, but I wanted to take Boise.
I want to take Boise, but I couldn't get there.
Boise was in a fight with a force of nature last week. Like, they were boxing a friggin' hurricane. Like, we didn't really learn anything about Boise. We learned that Michael Penix Jr. is really friggin' good. Don't touch.
Texas, Alabama. Alabama -7 at home, over under 53.5, plus 240 on the money line for the Longhorns. I didn't touch it.
Ramajama, Yellowhammer, give me the alternate line on Alabama. I'm taking them -9.5. I would take them all the way up to -13.5. They're going to put their foot in Texas's ass. And this isn't just me being horns down for life. This is just what Nick does. Give me -9.5 and the plus money, plus 110.
Erik, you playing this one? I know you do.
Yeah, I take Texas plus the 7.5, plus the 250. Bama's going to be looking to run the ball, but we have to look. Bama's offensive line isn't what it's been in years past. I think Texas front is going to be able to disrupt the running game they want. And we really don't know if this quarterback they have is able to pass the ball. Bama lost their 2 best defenders, their best pass rusher and Will Anderson. They lost Gibbs, their best running back. Their 3 top pass catchers from there, Bryce Young, and 3 DBs to the NFL. And now you have 2 DBs that may not even play against arguably the best wide receiver core in the nation. Texas' offensive line, in my eyes, is one of the better ones in the country. Alabama did lose Will Anderson. Like I mentioned, I think they're going to struggle to get to Ewers. And we need to remember, last year, Stark's scripted plays were absolutely insane. I mean, that start for Texas last year is insane. I think it's going to be the same situation. I think the talent level of Alabama, because of all the NIL stuff, is down. I think Texas is closing the gap. I got Texas here plus the 7. 8.5, I'd still play the 7. I got him at plus 260 to straight up win.
You know what's funny is Alabama lost Jahmyr Gibbs. Dan Campbell apparently didn't find him. Just saying, as a Jahmyr Gibbs owner in fantasy.
You know what I will play? I will give myself a play in this game. Uncle Rico swayed me over. I'm going to take Texas first quarter money line plus 155.
Holy shit!
First quarter. That's it.
So disappointed.
I do like your play of the alternate line chase. I do think Alabama comes out and will end up pulling away, but I think Texas can kind of be feisty early.
I think they devoted a good couple weeks in fall camp to this game, quite honestly.
UCLA, San Diego State. UCLA minus 13.5 versus San Diego State. Over under 49 points, plus 395 on the money line. Why do I not want to take San Diego State for some reason? I don't.
Feels like a quarter unit dabble for San Diego State on the money line, just because we all know how I feel about Chip Kelly, excluding that 1 year.
What's going on in the quarterback room? Literally, what's going on in the quarterback room in UCLA? Who he's going to play? My worry about San Diego State is this. Their offensive and defensive line aren't that good. If Chip just commits to the run, I think they're going to be able to run all over the San Diego State front. But do we trust Chip to do that? He's revolving quarterbacks. This is just a stay away from me.
Yeah, I'm staying away as well. Wisconsin, Washington State. Wisconsin minus 5.5 on the road, over under 57.5, plus 190 on the money line.
You want to talk about laying a dud in your debut? I mean, does anything about what Wisconsin did just screams, hey, I'm impressed?
Dude, they threw the ball so many times that people left Camp Randall in just a shock and not knowing what to believe.
I don't know.
They still have a great running back.
But they seem like they aren't they were going late in the game. They got a 4th and 1, and the announcer's like, "Oh, that shows Wisconsin can run the ball when they want to." I'm not sure that they honestly can.
Yeah,
I'm on Washington State plus 6.
I like the play. I'm not doing it, but I like it.
I'm taking it. This is also just in the back of my head. It's the system of I like taking Pac-12 teams at home against the Eastern conferences.
Yeah,
it's when you cross those Rockies, weird shit happens. I dabbled on the money line too. Eastern Michigan, Minnesota. Minnesota minus 20 versus EMU, over under 48, plus 790 on the money line. I don't give a shit how fucking weird I thought this line was. I walked right into the trap. Give me Eastern Michigan plus 20. Give them sprinkle on the money line. I don't care. I don't care.
I'm putting something in my little database. Let me look at something.
Erik, this is the same thing you tell me every time. It's the sports books are not your friend, but I don't give a fuck.
Minnesota plays at such an effing slow pace. And with the number, this just seems like way too much. Hold on, let me do something.
I mean, of course, will be Eastern Mich on the money line. I'm not playing it, though.
Oh, I played it. I fucking played it.
You did it for the garage.
Oh, wow.
I don't know. I just didn't understand.
Minnesota as 14 or higher point favorites in the Fleck era. They are. This is kind of surprising.
You're saying they've overloaded the boat?
This is actually. I'm looking at this. It's a little better than I thought. Just because they play at such a slow pace, I thought this wouldn't number be 11, 11, and 1.
As 14-point favorites?
As
or more?
14-point favorites or more.
It's
okay.
I mean, that's
a weird spot.
I don't know. I thought with the slow pace, I thought that'd be a little bit different, but I guess not. Just stay away from me.
Give me Eastern Michigan.
This does feel like the overreaction spot, right? Because if you look at how the game flowed for Minnesota, they were gifted points late. They didn't really go out and score. Yeah, they didn't necessarily get the job done.
No, neither offense looked at all good in that game.
Directional me, sir.
Arizona, Mississippi State. Mississippi State minus 9 at home, over under 59.5, plus 275 on the money line for Arizona.
I wanted to get to Arizona. God, did I want to get to Arizona. I want to get to Arizona so bad here. Just because switching schemes.
Yeah.
No Mike Leach. LSU on deck. but I just can't in my head. I just don't trust Arizona enough.
That Delora at Arizona is a dog, man. He is good. I don't know, but they're also wearing, so Mississippi State is wearing all whites, and I don't know if these are like the Angel Mike Leach uniforms,
Ooh,
and
yeah.
they've got that going for them, because we've seen the power of uniforms in games. Yeah.
If this was at Arizona, I would be all
Yes.
over Arizona.
Yes. Temple Rutgers. Rutgers -8 at home, over under 44.5 plus 265 on the money line.
Look, I really want to take Temple. I like Temple. I think Temple's going to go bowling this year. But what did we really learn from Rutgers? I didn't learn anything because Northwestern's brutal.
Exactly.
And if they're able to run the ball, shorten the game, and only make it where Temple has 3 possessions and a half, I don't see how Temple is going to be able to do enough. This is just a pass for me.
This is a late addition for me. Temple alternate line +6.5 plus 125.
I got Temple at 9.5 earlier in the week. I like that play, and I also sprinkled a little bit on Temple money line.
Hootie hoo.
Hootie fucking who. Charlotte the Clit versus Maryland. Maryland -24.5 at home. Over under 50 points plus 1250 on the money line. Chase, the disrespected Biff Poggi's got to win week 1.
Yeah, he's got Biff Poggi also has receipts. And those receipts are that no one likes him, just universally. Or no one likes the clip. Well,
no one likes Charlotte.
I got so excited by that I almost knocked over my water. Yeah, I don't want to play this game at all, but I do like the disrespected Biff Poggi.
I want more games of Maryland as a dog in September. What the fuck?
Right. Yeah. That's the other thing is the Biff Poggi disrespect enough to outweigh September Maryland?
So this is pretty funny. Maryland, first 2 games, respectable ATS numbers, but as the season goes on,
it tanks, yeah.
They respectively get worse. Big number. This is just a pass for me.
Air Force, Sam Houston State. Air Force -13.5 on the road. Oh, it's been playing at NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas. Never mind.
I'm sure this will sell out.
Over under 36.5.
I mean, Jesus, dude. So let me put these teams in real quick. I just think that's a lot of points for a team that's going to be running the option.
The new and improved option.
New and improved option.
With no clock stoppage for chain movement.
I mean, so Service Academy is right here. Boom. Oh, I can't even do that.
I'm gonna stay away from this one though.
Yeah, that's a lot of points, dude. I mean, that is a lot of points. It's a pass for me.
Southern Miss, Florida State. Florida State -31, over under 53.5. Thought about Southern Miss. Thought about it, but nope. In the letdown spot for Florida State, but nope.
Unless Mike Norvell comes out in the cornrows, I'm off this game.
I have a bet.
Oklahoma. Erik has a bet in it. Erik has a bet in it.
I have a bet in it. I'm doing it. I pulled the trigger. Give me Southern Miss here +31. We talked about overreaction. Who had the biggest win last week? Florida State. Who's the second favorite for the Heisman this week? The quarterback from Jordan Travis from Florida State.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I didn't even see that.
I saw this article where somebody wrote that Keelan Coleman is going to be drafted before Marvin Harris Jr. This is the hype of hype right now. Football betting to me is buying low, selling high. I'm selling on Florida State. We've talked about this clock. The clock is moving now. It limits the possessions. You have Frank Gore Jr. How Southern Miss all these years has been able to keep Frank Gore Jr. in-house, I have no idea. I have no idea.
That Brett Favre fund, I'm sure, went directly.
I have no idea who's pumping money into the NIL. They're going to turn around. They're going to lean on him. They actually have a quarterback now and a transfer from Clemson. I think Southern Miss is going to be able to have success running the ball. I think it's going to be limited. And I think this is just a sell spot on Florida State. Give me the 31.
Eric, that's all the nudging I needed to actually bet it. So thank you. I appreciate you.
Yeah, it's juiced here all the way down to minus 120 at 30.5. I mean, I won't play it. I also think that, by the way, Florida State's quarterback, the numbers are even his actual performance better than the numbers because he had so many easy drops. Not like Kadarius Toney drops, but like some pretty easy drops.
And that game was it was tied going into the fourth quarter. It wasn't this immaculate beatdown that everyone is making it to be.
It was a classic Brian Kelly meltdown.
Yeah.
I think the one thing you learned in that game, though, is I think both of those defenses, if you look at first half LSU, full game FSU, like those defenses might be freaky fucking good.
They're feisty. Oklahoma State, Arizona State. Oklahoma State -3 on the road, over under 53.5, plus 132 on the money line for Arizona State. This was a system for me. Team going east. I bet Arizona State plus the points and straight up.
Yeah, within a field goal, the home dog plus 120 is the easy call.
I would lean Arizona State.
Stanford, USC. USC -29, over under 69.5.
I just got a text that says the Tulane quarterback is playing.
Oh, love that. Love that.
Yeah. You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah, I'm not touching Stanford, USC.
Nope.
Okay, so if you're looking to bet, now, I'm not doing
that. Might be one of my interests.
If you're looking to bet, Stanford's offense looked better, but it was against Hawaii. USC sucks on defense. I mean, I think Stanford, if this gets to 31, is the play to do. I think 31 or higher is the play. 29, I pass. It's just USC's defense is just so bad. It's really hard for me to lay numbers, but that's definitely the way I'd lean in this situation.
Last game, boys. Auburn traveling all the way to Berkeley, California to take on the Cal Bears. Auburn is a 6-point favorite on the road, over under 55, plus 172 on the money line. Chase, I'll let you go first. This is my system play, but go ahead.
Yeah, so you mentioned the system. We got a team going from the east, crossing the Rockies, playing on the west coast. Cal be putting up points. I'm not sure if Auburn could necessarily keep the pace. I really shouldn't do this. The reason I shouldn't do this is if you miss the wedding, don't go to the funeral, is what my friend Caleb Knight always says. When you miss a chance to bet a horse, when it wins, don't throw money at the next time. But I'm going to same game parlay this Cal money line with the over 56.5. That's an alternate total. I can get plus 500 on it. Like I think I might as well shoot my shot here, even though I'd be more of a fan of breaking those plays up. I'm going to lump them together like a dumb dick.
I'm on Cal at the points. I'm on Cal straight up. An Auburn team that I'm kind of iffy on, traveling all the way out west. Even if this was the Berkeley, like if this was Cal of last year or the year before, I'd still like Cal to get the win.
Yeah, I would definitely lean Cal, but
sports facts right there. Thorne is the QB for Auburn. Enough said. Cal for me.
I mean, that's pretty right to the point.
Yeah. Anybody got any big plays going this week?
I'll rattle off my round robin that I've got for the early games here. It was Tulane on the money line, Miami plus 135 on the money line, the under in the Iowa game, Notre Dame -7.5, Purdue on the money line. I'm going to be straight up. I think I hit at least 2 of these money line dogs. It's plus basically plus 119 if I hit it all outright. But I put them together as 3-team parlays. That's 10 bets, a spread, 2 units across it. Let's go.
I have a parlay / round robin combo. Here's the plays. All straight up money line, all underdogs. Rice, Temple, Eastern Michigan, UMass, Jacksonville State, Eastern Carolina, Washington State, and Cal. The round robin, pretty decent. I think a couple of them can pay out. I just did 2 teamers. The parlay is 34,792 to 1. So
That's my boy.
That's
my fucking boy.
I call it my lottery ticket parlay of the week.
Oh my god, Jim.
Your CVS.
Well, Eric,
receipt
I just do
parlay.
the round robin. I'll just throw $1 on the parlay. Why not?
All right. My round robin, I did UConn money line, Rice money line, Texas Tech money line, Texas money line, NC State money line. That's all I did.
And then, of course, I got to finish out with my piss off Uncle Rico teaser of the week. The guy who won it last week isn't even in the chat, so he can't do his free bet. We'll just have to hold that over. Eric, which one of these is going to lose me my teaser? I teased Notre Dame down to a pick'em.
That one.
Yeah. Purdue +9. Utah -0.5. Iowa State, Iowa under 43. UTEP +8. ECU +10. UConn +10. Jayville State +20. Here's the one that I fucked up on. Oregon against Texas Tech. I teased Oregon over the 0. Oregon is now +1. Eastern Michigan +27. Temple +15. And Cal +13.
I'm going to go on the record. There's no way that loses.
Thank you, Chase. I also believe that.
I'm gonna go on the record, say it's
Do you think Notre Dame's the one that kills it?
Yeah.
Okay. 33 to 1 odds. 33 to 1. Any other parting shots, boys? I want Nebraska to win so fucking bad. I didn't bet it. I want him to win so bad.
I love Coach Prime, but it would be pretty sweet for him to come out and do the Ric Flair woos after week 1 and then lose to Nebraska week 2.
It'd be very nice.
My thing is this: is you got to get ahead of the market. You guys got to start thinking ahead. There's a lot of big dogs out there today. I'm just using this as an example. If you think Texas is going to beat Alabama, what's going to happen to their national championship price and Uhr's Heisman price? It's going to drop.
Yep.
So if you think there's like someone like that, you want to get on it. Hypothetically speaking, if you think Colorado is going to lose, but you still think Hunter could have the Charles Woodson type season to win the Heisman, you wait till next week to beat Hunter. You want to try to get out in front of the curve of these future markets while betting them and kind of anticipating the moves and everything.
I think Hunter could pick off 4 passes today.
He could.
I mean, he played over 140 snaps.
Bananas.
That is impressive as hell. And he still had energy. He wasn't getting burned on routes. Like,
yeah,
that's the most impressive thing I've probably seen in like 20 years, dude. Like, Jesus.
He was crazy.
He was just grown man and people. He was doing things to people. It's like, man, I think this guy's probably happy his ancestors aren't alive to see this, or his future children, because he just showed out on those people, dude.
All right,
Insane.
folks. We will see you next week for another episode of the College Football Tailgate. But for now, this is us signing off. Get your bets in, go win some goddamn money, and enjoy another full slate of a college football Saturday while they still last like they are now.